Hello internet world, welcome to a new video on the Geekanoids channel. This is going to be a bit of a lengthy video because I've got two very exciting new products sitting here. The new 2019 iPads from Apple, yep, the third generation iPad Air, and also the iPad Mini 5, the little tiny iPad that we all thought had been long forgotten by Apple. They've both been updated and they both now support the Apple Pencil. Not the Apple Pencil 2, that still only works with the iPad Pros, but the original first generation of iPad Pencil, which is still a great device. It's just not very sticky, it's not magnetic like the new iPad Pencil 2. So we're going to unbox both of these and have a first look in this video. And then next week I'll bring you my full reviews, or it might fall over into the week after, but I'll certainly bring you my full reviews of both of these products as soon as possible. But we're going to unbox these in this video, and I'm not sure which one to go for first, whether I should do the smaller one or the iPad Air. What do you guys think? Let's go for the iPad Air first of all. So here is the iPad Air. Let's get this unboxed. Let's not faff around. Let's not delay any further, other than to say this has got a slightly larger screen. It's still got bezels, which is a good thing, and it supports the Apple Pencil. It's got the A12 Bionic chip in it. It's got a much faster sort of performance as a whole, and I think it's going to be a really good tablet. So let's take this wrapping off. Actually, let's just pull this round like so. It's not come off very easily, and I haven't got any knife with me. Apple's packaging is always extremely easy to open. Now, this is a live broadcast, of course, so if you've tuned in live and you want to leave me any comments or questions, you can use the live chat. If you're watching this after the live broadcast, then you can use the regular comment section below. And as always, if you are new to the channel and you're not already subscribed, please do hit that subscribe button. So this is what the box looks like. iPad on the front, Apple logo top and bottom, and then iPad Air written on either side. So let's open this up. Are we going to get any sort of box fart? No, we are not. And there we go. Now these are available in other colours. This one happens to be the space grey. They're also available with either just Wi-Fi or Wi-Fi and cellular connectivity as well, or 3G or 4G. Let's pull this open. I can see what looks like a little different change, which I hadn't noticed when they released it. So this is the iPad Air third generation. Let's just put this plastic to one side. In the bottom of the box, we have got the Lightning connector, so they haven't moved across to USB-C on these new 2019 iPads. It's only the new iPad Pro. We've got some documentation, which is in this little cardboard pouch. Let's show you this for those of you experiencing an iPad unboxing for the first time. We have also got, although they don't seem to want to come out, some Apple stickers in here. There we go. So we've got two Apple stickers. We have also got some iPad Air documentation. This guides you through getting everything up and running. And then we've also got some extra sort of regulatory information. And then underneath that information, we've got the charger. So this consists of a charging brick. On this side, it's a full-size USB. And then we've got the little connector on the opposing side. And then we're in the UK, so we've got a 3-pin UK plug as well. And then of course the cable, which I mentioned earlier, let's just pull this out. This is of course full-size USB to Lightning. This is what's going to connect the iPad to the mains to charge it. So that's all of the accessories we get. Let's just pop that back in the box. Now let's have a closer look at the iPad Air. We've got Stuart Craig feeling some movement at the station. Let's unpeel this. This is a fresh iPad. I love the space grey. My current iPad, which is a 2018 iPad, just the regular one, is also space grey, and I do like that a lot. I like the colouring of it. Let's get this turned on as well, whilst we're just showing you around. So we have got space grey, obviously, on the back. Across the top, we've got the power on off button, also 3.5mm audio jack for headphones. We've also got a secondary mic down there as well. New to this iPad, the iPad Air is like the smart connector for the keyboard case. Across the bottom are the speakers and the lightning connector. Of note, just 2 speakers on here, quad speakers, of course, on the iPad Pro. And then round on this side, no lock rotation switch because that's all done through software now, but we've got the volume up and down. Now this is currently starting up. Whilst this is starting up, let's just pop this back down on the desk a second. We're going to probably move on to unboxing this very shortly, which is the iPad Mini 5. So while we're waiting for that iPad Air to start up, let's just talk about the iPad Mini a little bit. People didn't like the iPad Mini with the first generation, not as much. Second generation, yeah, it was getting more popular. The iPad Mini 3, people really liked it. Then the iPad Mini 4, again, iterative upgrades. iPad Mini 5, people were saying, where is it? We really want a new iPad Mini. And it seemed like Apple had completely forgotten the iPad Mini, but alas, they hadn't. So they did actually release the iPad Mini 5 or 5th generation. This one is available in other colours as well. Happens to be the silver one, Wi-Fi and cellular versions. This happens to be just the Wi-Fi only. So whilst we're waiting for that iPad Air to start up, let's unbox this one. And then we'll come back and have a look at a comparison between the two. So again, very easy to open. We just got this pull tab that pulls down, and this is going to snap off like the other one. Makes my job a little bit more tricky. Stuart Craig, did you get some buzz? Do you get the same buzz, sorry, out of Apple products these days? Not as much. Certainly not as much. I've been doing YouTube videos for 13 years now, and primarily when I started, a lot of it was Apple products. Very exciting when you saw the first generation of something, but now because we've got these iterative upgrades, when you get a 5th generation of something like the iPad Mini 5 or an iPhone 10, for example, then of course it's not quite as exciting, but I still do love Apple products, and I still do think they've got a very good future ahead of them. If they start refocusing, they've got a really good future ahead of them to actually bring us some really interesting and exciting products again, something very new perhaps in a couple of years' time. So we've also got James Baker. Thanks very much for tuning in, James. I can see James is a member of the channel, so thank you for being a member, James. If you want to help support the channel, you can hit that join button, and if you do so, when you comment, you get a different icon depending on how long you've actually been a member of the channel. Stuart Craig saying Apple are not the same anymore. No, there's been some big changes. Anyway, iPad Mini. So we've of course got silver writing on the side because this is a silver version of the iPad. Details on the back about the model. This is the 64GB Wi-Fi model. Let's take the lid off this one. No box fart on that one either. Let's pop the box lid back down there. Let's pop it up there actually. There we go. And there, this is how it's presented. So instead of being black on the front, this is of course white bezels. And let's take this out. Silver on the back, as you can see. And then we've got the box contents. So it's going to be identical really to the other one. So we've got charging cable in the bottom section here, which is a full-size USB to Lightning. Then we've got the documentation. I'll run through the documentation again, just in case anything is different. So we've got a little packet here with some documentation. Again, the Apple stickers didn't want to come out, but they have now. So we've got documentation here, and I'm just going to set this starting up actually. Just turn this one on. There we go. So that's now starting up. That's different. I'll tell you what was different in a short while. That's interesting. I'm going to tell you there was a slight difference when I wish I'd shown you the front of the other one sooner. So anyway, iPad Mini, you get the little stickers again. You get iPad Mini quick start guide. Going to guide you getting up and running. And then we get the regulatory information again. And then we get the same power brick and UK charger, as I showed you before. It's a little tiny mini USB wall charger, and then the 3-pin UK plug. Now, what was different, what was very different in fact, is this one started up with a white screen, and straight away it came up with hello, pretty much instantly. This one, although it is now started up now, and it does have the hello screen up there, took a long time to start up, and it started up to a black screen. So the Mini started up with a white screen with a black Apple logo in it. This one started up with a black screen with a white Apple logo on it. So something different. I've not noticed that before. Maybe I just wasn't looking closely enough. But anyway, back to the iPad Mini. Let's take the wrapping off of this one. Wow. It's a long time since I've had an iPad Mini. I don't think I've reviewed every single iPad Mini. I skipped a couple of generations. I may have done unboxings of a few, but certainly not much coverage on the iPad Mini, purely because it didn't interest me personally that much. So let's take a look around this. So it's going to be pretty much the same again. Top edge, power button, just here. Secondary mic, 3.5mm audio jack. This side completely clear. Across the bottom, we've got the no headphone jack. We've got the speakers and also the lightning port. And then on this side, we've got the volume up and down. Again, no lock rotation switch, that's done in software. And then if we look at the front, we've of course got the front facing camera, and we've of course got the fingerprint sensor on the bottom, which is really nice. This is super thin, very, very thin indeed. This is what the screen looks like. You can see there, ready to start up. I'm not going to go through the setup procedure in this particular video. This is purely a first look. Rear facing camera, of course, on the back. And because this is a Mini, you can hold it in one hand. So that's got the added benefit of you hold it in one hand and you can use the pencil with the other hand rather than having to balance it on something or have it on a stand. So really nice and manageable. It is a stretch. I've got medium-sized hands, and it is a stretch to hold it in one hand, but it is possible. And then of course we've got the iPad Air, which I'll show you the front on this. Because this is a space grey, the bezels on this are black. And something I noticed, which maybe I missed on the other one, which is where the fingerprint sensor is and the home button, it's got a bevel in a slightly different colour. I never noticed that before. And let's show you these two side by side, just so you get an idea of the size difference. Do this as carefully as I can. There's a look at both the screens. Ignore the brightness at the moment, but that gives you an idea of them side by side, how different of a size they are. They feel roughly the same thickness. Obviously the iPad Air 3 is a little bit sort of heavier because of the larger size. The iPad Air 3 that you're seeing at the moment, of course, camera in the same position in that top corner. I love the space grey, I really do. I do like the silver as well, but I do like the space grey in these devices. Very, very cool indeed. And of course, as I mentioned before, these do both support the Apple Pencil. And just for those of you tuning in now, they don't support the Apple Pencil 2, they support the original first generation one with the very innovative way of charging, which is still crazy to this day. I still don't get it. What a silly, silly idea that was of Apple. But at least it supports the Apple Pencil, and that takes these into the realms of being able to be used by digital artists, very useful for note-taking, and just makes everything a lot more usable, a lot more creativity, and a really good addition, Apple Pencil support. I saw it coming. I could have predicted that was going to happen, and I was right. Let's have a look in the live chat for one last time. Dean Sturrock, I've got a 2017 Pro. Think I'll get the Mini next time. Fair deals. And also CK2 Gaming saying good afternoon. Well, thanks very much for tuning in, everyone. This has been my unboxing and first look of the iPad Mini 5 and the iPad Air 3. I think they're both looking like great devices, the same build quality we've come to expect from Apple, and I'll reserve my judgment until the full reviews on these, which, as I say, I'll either do next week or the week after once I've used them for a fair amount of time. That's it for this video. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. I really do appreciate it, Have a fantastic day ahead. I've got another video coming up in a short while as well, so do tune in again for that. Any comments at all, pop them in the comments section below. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button, or any combination of what I just said. I'll see you all in another video very soon.